I'm from New York, so Biggie's what I grew up listening to. And he's kind of one of the artists that if you would ask me top 5 artists you'd love to work with, alive or dead, he'd be on my list.
Coming out just me and my crew, 'cause all we want to do is
Jay-Z's song was on, and the Jay-Z song was on. So I put my hands up to play my song, the butterflies fly away.
Song Party in the USA that you wrote for Miley Cyrus happens to be part of one of my favorite mashups of all time. The mashup is called Party and Bullshit in the USA.
Yeah.
It's mashed up with Biggie's Party and Bullshit. You know, how do you feel when you hear mashups like that of songs you've written?
I love it. I think that, I mean, part of music is being creative and experimenting. That's part of how I make the music I make. And with the internet now and YouTube and all these different programs, people do it way more often. It's flattering to me that someone took the time to take a song, such a big pop song, and mix it with one of my favorite hip hop artists. So I love it. I wish people did it more. I get a kick out of it. I'm not gonna lie, I go on YouTube and look to see what people have done to my song sometimes because it inspires me.
I've got to ask too about that song. When you were in the studio with Miley and you're going over the line and the Jay-Z song was on, you know, she said that she actually didn't know who Jay-Z was.
I'm not sure I buy that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I buy that. I think that might be some media spin, but I'll say this. The reason that line was even on the song was the song was originally for Jessie J. We wrote it with her for her first album, and because of, you know, typical label stuff and, you know, there's a lot of editing and stuff that gets cut and left on the cutting room floor, it didn't make the album. They let it go. So we reworked the song for Miley Cyrus, and that line stayed in the song.
So hard with my girls on around me. It's definitely not a Nashville party, 'cause all I see is the letters. I guess I never got the memo.
You've worked with a lot of other artists, pretty big names, Akon and even Michael Jackson. Can you tell me about the song that came out with that you wrote for the two of them?
The song that I did it's a kind of a sordid story, but it's actually one. I've been known in the industry for writing songs since about 2006, 2007. What people don't know is that's actually one of the first songs I wrote back then, although it didn't come out until 2010. Hold My Hand is the name of the record. It was originally a song that I went in the studio with Akon to write for Whitney Houston's project years ago. He heard it and snatched it up before he could even give it to Whitney because he wanted it for himself. And in kind of I guess you can call it a freak accident, he just happened to be playing it for Michael Jackson while he was in the studio with him, separate from me. Michael Jackson fell in love with it and recorded it. Then of course, as we all know, unfortunately he passed away. And the song sat around for 3 years. I never thought it would see the light of day. I was like, this is never gonna come out now. And then they put together his first posthumous album, and it was the first single. And so it had to be remixed and fixed up, and they made it into a duet because the whole song hadn't been recorded. But he's my all-time favorite artist, so it's kind of sweeter to me than any of the other songs I've done. You know, despite it didn't go #1, it didn't match Thriller or anything else he's done, but for me, I can say I was one of the last people to have a song recorded by Michael Jackson. That's good enough.